Temperature is 36 degrees.
The business of the day is taking the weekend off, but be sure to be listening in on Monday for the next ON Radio Business of the Day.
Good morning and welcome to the Cheap Seats with Pat and Kevin. I'm Pat Holland, joined by my co-host, Kevin Callahan, who's somewhere in North Carolina, I believe. He's joining us on the phone. Hi. Kevin, you there?
Good morning, Pat. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
How are the roads?
Yes, the fog just listed from the last time we spoke about, 20 minutes ago? And we got 63 degrees. We got the opposite of what it is in Woonsocket. I think I heard 36.
Yeah, it's still a little chilly out. Foggy up here, although it is starting to lift a little bit. But great. Yeah. So Kevin's on his way to Florida, right?
I'm on my way.
Spring training.
Yep, my son will be down there. I got 8 games, doubleheader starting tomorrow. So he just landed. The team just landed in Florida, and we'll catch up with them tomorrow.
Excellent. All right, so let's go around Rhode Island and New England. In high school sports, the high school boys team, the number 11 seed, they went into East Greenwich this week and won 69-53. And then on Tuesday night, they beat St. Ray's 73-55 to get to the championship game, which was last night against the number 1 seed, Mount Hope. And unfortunately, their Cinderella season ended with a 67-56 loss. But congratulations to the Broncos on an incredible run this year. In D3, North Smithfield played Tuesday night, losing to Davies. Unfortunately, coming up short, 78-75. In hockey, D1 started up last night. Burrowville Co-op began their best-of-3 series against Bishop Hendricken. And they lost, I believe, 11-1. But they play again tonight. Let me just get my the right
11-1 though. Huh? Yikes!
Yeah, tough. Hendricken's tough. They play tonight at 5:30 at the Levy Rink. Over in D2, the number 8 Cumberland. They began their best-of-3 series last night versus number 1 Portsmouth, dropping a close game 3-2. Game 2 is tonight at 8 p.m. at the Rhode Island Sports Center. Also in Division 2, Lincoln High School began their series last night versus the number 7 Narragansett Charahoe Co-op, winning 2-1. Game 2 is tonight at 6:30 at Foss Arena. And in other high school news, basketball championship set last night in D1, LaSalle versus Portsmouth. Portsmouth finished off a tremendous season with a 59-48 win over LaSalle. Also last night, D1 girls, Westerly knocked off Moses Brown 59-49. And in D2 girls action, Lincoln School out of Providence, they beat Tiverton 50-47 to capture the championship. And then in D3, boys, Exeter West Greenwich will play Pontigansett today at 1:30. That's at the AMP. And on the girls' side, Prout will play Exeter West Greenwich at 11:30 this morning at the AMP. And then over to college basketball, to the campuses. By all accounts, Kim English, college basketball team's head coach, will probably come to an end, as reported by Channel 10 after the season. The men's hoops team suffered an embarrassing loss on Wednesday night. They're at Georgetown tonight, and then the Big Ten tournament will begin on Wednesday, March 11th, with a first-round triple header on Peacock. The number 8 seed will meet the number 9 seed at 4, followed by the number 7 seed battling the number 10 seed at 6:30. And then the evening will conclude at 9 with the number 6 seed playing number 11 seed. All 3 games Wednesday will also air on NBC Sports Network. Currently, PC's in 7th, which would mean a rematch with Marquette if nothing changes. Over on the women's side, the Providence women began their Big East tournament yesterday afternoon with a 69-55 win over DePaul. They move on to face the number 2-seeded Villanova at 7 o'clock tonight. That game can be seen on Peacock as well. And in hockey, the number 5 ranked Providence hockey, they finished their regular season tonight at UConn versus UConn at Snyder. Fridays have clinched the number 1 seed in Hockey East. They'll play the lowest remaining seed after playing games are completed. Over to Brown. Brown University men's basketball finished their season last night, first 10, losing 82-61. The women, who are fourth in clinch the spot in the Ivy playoffs, are at 10 this afternoon at 2. And the hockey team begins their single elimination ECAC playoffs today at 5 versus Union. Brown is the lowest seeded team in the ECAC tournament. Up to Bryant, the number 7 seeded men's hoops team will begin their American East playoff today versus number 2 Vermont. That game is at 2 o'clock. The number 6 seeded Lady Bulldogs play in the quarterfinals Thursday night at Binghamton this week. They took a 1-point lead with 5.8 seconds left in the game, but they were too much for Binghamton as they hit a buzzer beater to win the game 45-44, ending the season. URI men finished up at 4 today, and they will begin their 8-10 playoffs on Thursday. And then the Lady Rams, who are 25-4, begin their quest for the 8-10 in the quarterfinals yesterday morning versus Loyola Marymount, which I don't have a score for that. Believe they won. I'll look that up. And then I just wanted to send a congratulations to URI head coach, Ian Greggs, for winning her 3rd Atlantic 10 Coach of the Year award. And then over to Pawtucket. New England Lightning of the ABA have their first home playoff game tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock versus the Boston Sharks. Lightning finished their season 15-2 and are currently ranked number 7 in the country out of 130 teams. They average almost 130 points a game. Head on down to Pawtucket Boys and Girls Club for an exciting playoff action. Cheap tickets, always a good atmosphere. Professional soccer. The New England Revolution lost 2-1, dropping to 0-2 on the season versus the Red Bulls last weekend. Today's game, which was supposed to be a home opener, was canceled due to the turf not being installed yet due to the storm. So their next game is March 15th, which is at home against Cincinnati at 2:30. Rhode Island FC, their opener is scheduled for today, was canceled due to last week's storm as well. Their home opener is now scheduled for Saturday, March 14th at 4 o'clock versus Sporting Jackson. And the Providence Bruins forward Matthew Poitras netted the game-winning goal with less than 2 minutes to play to lift Providence to a 3-2 victory over the Hartford Wolfpack on Wednesday night at the People's Bank Arena. Riley Tufte netted his team-leading 23rd goal of the season, while Frederick Brunet scored his 11th goal. And goaltender Michael DiPietro stopped 39 shots during the victory. The Providence Bruins improved to 42-10-1 on the season, and they are at Bridgeport tonight, and they will return home tomorrow against Hershey at 3:05 at the end. So that's what we have going on around New England right now. We'll take our first break, and when we come back. Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know how close you've been following the Providence College basketball head coaching situation. I mean, the joke running around is not only do they botch the season, they're botching the firing of a coach. Confusing reports had leaked out. Channel 10, ESPN, all Brenda McGear even it's not that he was confusing, but it comes out Kim English has been fired, but then you got to keep reading. Well, not yet. He hasn't been fired. he's gonna we think last until the end of the season, and I guess this stuff started getting leaked before the game Wednesday against Marquette, which was senior night against the last place team in the conference. So they botched their season, and now they're botching the firing of a coach, and it's just a real bad look right now for Providence College. People are not happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's happening internally there, right? But yeah, it's he hasn't been very successful over there.
No.
So, you would think they knew halfway through the season that this probably was going to be the end.
Right.
And I'm surprised he wasn't removed already. They
Well,
just put someone
that's-
in interim.
Yeah, I mean, if they knew a few weeks ago, but then they'll leak it like before senior night. And again, Channel 10's running with it on their news. ESPN is putting out tweets on it as well, and it's just and to have the team quit like they did at home senior night, sold out crowd, it's just a bad look all around. For PC for the men's basketball team. And and let's face it, right? We've said it before on the show. It's not, it's spoken around Rhode Island. Providence College men's basketball, that is Rhode Island professional basketball team. URI can lay claim to it every once in a while. Bryant and Brown aren't at the level of PC. Not yet anyway. Providence College is Rhode Island's best basketball team, and they're just not handling this situation well at all.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't like I said, Kevin. I don't follow college basketball as much as you do, but it's certainly laying some duds. That's for sure.
Right. I mean, if this had happened at one of the other three schools in Rhode Island, Division I schools, men's basketball, it wouldn't have been covered like it did, like it is. And that includes URI, because their coach is the highest paid state employee in Rhode Island. So, but it wouldn't be. I don't think it would be covered like it is. Providence College has got the hold on the state, and it's just it's something that they covet. But with that comes the bad when they don't cover, when they don't do well by it either. So it's just a bad look. I don't. Now that based on how they played Wednesday night, they got Ed Cooley in Georgetown, which was an embarrassing loss at home to them earlier this year. Now the team's going to travel with a lame duck coach down to Georgetown. Then they got to go into Madison Square Garden, and as of right now, they're playing Marquette, who they just lost to. It's just a real bad way to finish the season for Providence, and it's going to be real interesting to see how they go. To your point, I think if they knew weeks ago, they probably should have said, this isn't working right now. We're going to promote whoever the assistant is on the interim basis, because that guy's in charge of recruiting anyway, or one of them, and then put the full search on. But the way they did it right before senior night, it's just a bad look that's going to take them a little bit to recover from, I think.
Yeah, without a doubt. So they got a lot to work on, and who knows who's going to want to come in and try to rebuild that. I mean, it is still a Big East program, so you think they have their pick of people. So we'll see what happens. All right, so we'll take our first break, and when we come back, we'll touch upon Jason Tatum back on the lineup last night. We got some Bruins trades. Not a lot happening at the trade deadline for them. Patriots, what are they doing? Steph Diggs gone, making a trade offer for A.J. Brown. Maybe we'll touch upon, I know Kevin wants to touch upon it, the World Baseball Classic started up last night for Team USA. And then maybe we can, if we have time, we'll hit upon how the Sox look in spring training so far. So when we come back, we'll call in 401-766-1240. You're listening to the Cheap Seats with Pat and Kevin on WOON 1240 AM, 99.5 FM, WoonSpocketRadio.com.
Your certified Buick GMC dealer serving drivers throughout Woonsocket and the surrounding areas is Tasca Buick GMC. At Tasca, you'll find a solid selection of new Buick GMC models, as well as a carefully inspected lineup of pre-owned vehicles. They also have a well-connected finance center run by a qualified team of finance experts who can help you get the right loan or lease in a quick, easy, and transparent manner. Tasca Buick GMC, 55 Fortin Drive, Woonsocket. Visit TascaBuickGMC.com. Tasca Buick GMC. You will be satisfied.
When you're ill and need same-day care, remember North Smithfield Urgent Care and Lincoln Urgent Care for affordable and accessible care. You'll always be seen by a board-certified physician who will assess the problem and make you feel safe and reassured. Check their websites for convenient patient and medical forms, which you may fill out before the visit. North Smithfield Urgent Care, 594 Great Road, North Smithfield, 768-3400. And Lincoln Urgent Care, 2 Wake Robin Road, Lincoln, 333-9595. Since 1948, their motto has been to give every customer the very best in quality service, as well as attention to detail. And that promise continues today at Michaud's Auto Body, a modern 5-stall facility with the latest in technology. Whenever you have time, please check their website at MichaudAutoBody.com and take a short video tour of their modern facility. It's very interesting. Michaud's Auto Body on Privilege Street, Woonsocket, a second-generation family business, 769-1983.
If you want your yard to be the envy of the neighborhood, then you need to contact Rosato and Sons of Westboro. They've been turning outdoor visions into reality across Massachusetts for more than 37 years. From custom patios, walkways, and outdoor kitchens to low-maintenance water features and landscape lighting. Looking for routine lawn maintenance, irrigation, or seasonal color? Rosato and Sons has you covered. They are a full-service landscaping firm doing it all in-house for unmatched quality and reliability. When you're ready to elevate your outdoor living, visit rosatoandsons.com to request your free estimate. Rosato and Sons of Westboro, where beautiful landscapes aren't an expense, they're an investment.
WOON Woonsocket Radio, ON AM and FM.
All right, welcome back to the Cheap Seats with Pat and Kevin. Joined by Kevin, my co-host, who's in the car heading down to Florida.
Yes, sir. Lovely North Carolina. Hey, Pat, we are up to 71 degrees.
Oh, there you go. Well, you're down south now, so.
Yes, we are.
All right, so I think we have a call coming in. Welcome to the Cheap Seats. Who do we have on the phone?
Good morning. Good morning, Pat.
Hey, Moose. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
Doing good. It's good to hear your cohort is somewhere down in the Carolinas.
Yeah, he's making his way down to spring training.
Oh. That's always nice. Baseball is upon us. What do you think of the World Baseball Classic itself? Do you think it harms baseball? Do you think it's helpful to baseball? I mean, we have so many players, so many countries that are involved in this short-lived, should we say, contest. It's only a couple of weeks, but you do have your best ball players participating in this Classic League. What do you think about as far as injuries concerned? Again, here we go with injuries again, with teams playing outside of their signed teams in the majors to playing something in the off season like this World Baseball Classic or the Olympics, so to speak. Are you against it or for it?
I'll defer to Kevin.
Oh, all right. I'm 100% for it. I was curious to see how they were going to manage the pitching. I think everyone's on a strict pitch count because it is March. But these guys, if they're not going to be playing in this, what's the difference if Aaron Judge for Team USA hurts himself in right field this afternoon or this evening against Great Britain, or in the third inning against the San Francisco Giants in a useless preseason game? Either way, he was going to get hurt. You got the best of the best again going against each other. I love it. It's an opportunity. I'm watching. Before I left the hotel this morning, I'm watching Japan against Korea. It's 3-2. I saw
FS2's got it. Yeah, the table's got it. I don't object, Kevin, to the participation. I just think this is a huge publicity stunt. That's what it is. This is great for the market.
Internationally,
why
does the NFL play in England? It's a publicity stunt. It's all publicity, but it's to grow the sport.
But see, that's part of their schedule. That's why they play out in Europe. That's on their regular season schedule. But I mean, no, it's entertaining. There's no doubt about that. But it's just some questions that are raised. Now, back to Providence College for a second. I don't know who this public relations guy was earlier this week. We're releasing that information about Kim English being fired, and then he's not fired. They're going to play a couple more games, and he will be canned after the Big East tournament. I mean, what does that do for motivation? I mean, how awkward is that? Sure. Not only for the coach, for the fans and for the players as well. Well, you know, you're playing with somebody who's going to be out the door in 2 games, but we still got 2 games to play. Anything can happen in the Big East. Anything can happen in that tournament. So, I mean, that's going to be a stab.
It's a real bad look, Moose. You know, we talked about it. Pat and I were talking about it just before the break. It's a real bad look for Providence College. Kim English, you know, like you say, he's a lame duck out there. The players aren't going to play, you know, unless they're going to be entering the portal. You know, I mean, now you're not playing as a team; you're playing as an individual. All the players are going to be playing for their stats.
Their heart's not into it because there's nothing to play for. Their coach is on the way out. Right. I don't know how they put themselves in this position, but as you say, it's a bad look. Actually, it's a terrible look, and not only that, a terrible mistake for letting this leak out as such.
Pat mentioned it too. They've probably known for a while. They probably should have done it mid-season. They didn't do it mid-season. They leaked it out right before senior night, and it's just a horrible look. The players, you know, now the players have to travel to D.C. for today's game, then the Madison Square Garden. I mean, I don't know if
didn't they see the repercussions that we're becoming ahead by doing this? I mean, it seemed a very, very shallow decision. It wasn't thought out very well.
Intentionally. My guess is they leaked it unintentionally, and it got out, and they probably didn't want it to leak until after the Big East tournament. And unfortunately for them, they probably just leaked it to too many people, and one of them ran with it. And then it got to, again, you know, we saw it on the Channel 10 News the other day.
Yeah, once you get the freedom of the press out, forget it. You know, they'll be all over that. So you really got to be careful what you say and who you speak to, especially when the press is involved. So,
absolutely.
But anyway, it's too bad because you got a lot of there's die-hard college PC fans here that's been here for years, for decades. I happen to be one of them. I love the Friars.
It's Rhode Island's professional basketball team.
Exactly. And for this to happen is just like a stab in the back. That's what that is. It's not good for the program as well.
Now you're going to have a new coach come in, a new recruit coming in. Recruiting's already tough enough for Providence with the portal. Yeah. They don't have. I don't know what kind of money they have to give to the players compared to other programs.
It shows weakness, Kevin. That's what it does. It shows weakness.
I agree.
During the organization, and it shouldn't have happened, but it has. So now it's upon us. So how do you feel like playing against Georgetown today? If you were a player, no.
Now you're going up against Ed Cooley, who they already lost to embarrassingly.
That's
earlier.
True. Yes. Yeah.
And now you're going to play Ed Cooley again, and who by all accounts is on his way out of Georgetown as well. But that hasn't been leaked yet. But don't be surprised if he gets fired.
Let's be realistic, though. These guys, they've already given up. I mean, I don't disagree that, you know, the way this was handled was poor, but these guys weren't coming. A lot of these guys aren't coming back next year anyway.
This is just a poor picture all around for Providence, for the players, the whole organization. And that's too bad.
It's the state of college, you know, basketball, but sports in general, right? No, there is no loyalty anymore. These kids are coming; they're one and done. They're going to another school. They're using each step as a stopping ground to kind of, you know, catapult themselves up to get more money from some other school. You know, maybe there's an allegiance here and there where, you know, you see guys transfer to a school that a coach leaves and goes to.
There's a ripple effect here. There's no doubt. You always look forward to the Big East tournament. Everybody looks forward to March Madness. Everybody that loves NCAAs. And I always look forward to the Big East tournament. Even during the middle of the season, PC's not having a good season, but let's see what happens in the tournament. Anything happens in the tournament. And now it seems so empty because there's nothing to play for. It's too bad. It's a pity, actually. It's a pity.
Yep.
Pat, to your larger point of these guys are one and done, and I think that Kim English at the beginning of the year really just couldn't get these guys to buy in, especially on the defensive side of the court. Because of that, they were losing games. They were in so many games that they lost because they were giving up 80, 90 points a game.
Right.
And I think back to you watch the AAU circuit. It's all offense. So a lot of times kids are playing, they're even skipping high school to stay on the AAU circuit, which is all offensive-minded. Now they're entering college. They've never been taught defense. They've never had to buy in.
And I got to let you guys go, Kevin. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I got to run. I'm sure you got to go to a break. Is that the players, themselves, as far as Providence College was going to say, is that I don't know, who do you root for? I'm so despondent with this. I know somebody that goes to Providence College, and then it's like there's a big bomb that's been dropped there, and it's most unfortunate. So
really?
Anyway. On with, I don't know, are you going to look forward? I always look forward to March Madness, always.
Yep.
Getting to tournaments as everybody else does. And I still will. It's a great entertainment thing of the year. But anyway, it's just too bad. It's too bad it happened to the guys from our state. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, so with that, guys, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
You got it. All right, Kevin, why don't we take our second break, and when we come back, we'll talk about Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics.
You got it.
State Line Service and Tire Center is a third-generation family business that believes in repairing your vehicle properly and efficiently the first time. In addition, they provide a full complement of preventive services like checking batteries, belts and hoses, exhaust, headlight restoration, emission testing, and engine light pop-ups. Their ASE-certified technicians are right up to date with the latest technology. Vehicle problems are their business. State Line Service and Tire Center, 1209 Social Street, Woonsocket, 765-0146.
If your garage door needs replacing because of wear, performance, or appearance, think of Woonsocket Door Sales, your complete overhead door facility for installation and maintenance, including framework repair and security. Woonsocket Door Sales features important information about security on their website. For attached garages, be safe with a good deadbolt lock or door monitor. And remember, detached garages often contain valuable tools and recreation equipment. Woonsocket Door Sales since 1935. 1 Biltmore Avenue, Cumberland. 767-3448.
The world-class distributor of all things electrical is Electrical Wholesalers. They are a full-service electrical distributor with branches throughout Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Locally, they're at 113 Clinton Street next to KFC here in Woonsocket, with other locations in Cranston and Franklin, Massachusetts. Electrical Wholesalers provides the highest quality service to electrical contractors as well as residential, commercial, and industrial customers. Electrical Wholesalers is open Monday through Friday, 7 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. Visit ew-ne.com. Electrical Wholesalers.
It's the worldwide sound of OM Radio.
And welcome back to the Cheap Seats with Pat and Kevin. All right, Kevin, Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum makes his season debut last night against the Dallas Mavericks. We knew it was coming.
I think you were right. I think it was all based on his actual injury and when he was ready to return. I don't think it was fabricated for drama. I think he was. When you look at the timeline, It's consistent with other people coming back from an ACL, and he made his return last night, and pretty exciting too.
Yeah, I had a couple of buddies who were at the game, and they said it was the atmosphere was electric. Almost like playoff feeling, right? That's how loud it was.
Wow.
And I think he played pretty well for someone who's coming off of 10 months, right, without any game action. 27 minutes, 15 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. I mean, I'll take that.
I'll take that. A double-double right off the bat. And didn't you say he missed his first 6 shot, kind of knocking the rust off, but then after that he kind of took off?
Yeah, he missed I think it was his first 6 shots, and he definitely looked rusty. Naturally so. I mean, you're coming off of 10 months of no gameplay. You can't replicate that in practice. And then he had a play where there was an offensive rebound that he put back, a dunk, and then that kind of seemed to wake him up a little bit.
So that's I'm sure that got the crowd going too, especially for him for his first points being off a dunk. Unfortunately, though, for the Celtics, would you say a broken finger for I'm drawing a blank.
Vucevic.
Vucevic. Yeah. How
like,
unfortunate.
Yeah, so it looks like he had the surgery, or he's scheduled for surgery today, and he'll miss about a month, they say. But yeah, that's certainly I like his game. I think he brings a different. He's a little bit better than Garza, although Garza plays pretty well too. But Vucevic is a better shooter. He's just better. He's bigger, and he has that. Garza does as well, but he's a different player than Queta, right? He extends out to the 3-point line. You got to bring someone out there so it opens up the inside for other players. Whereas Queta is, he's not an outside guy. So if he's coming up top, he's setting screen.
So Pat, the big topic now. I mean, the Celtics, and credit to Missoula and Brad Stevens, because Brad Stevens got rid of so many players at the end of the year last year, and made some replacements in the draft. To have them 20 games over 500, if Missoula doesn't win Coach of the Year this year, it ought to be an investigation, because nobody expected them to be 20 games over 500. They expected them to be hopeful for 500 at the beginning of the year, probably, and us too, probably when the season started. And hopefully Tatum come back to make a playoff push. And now, I mean, they've still got an outside shot at the number 1 seed, most likely the number 2 seed. But are they, assuming, and everyone's talking about the drama potentially between Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but are they a title contender? Getting them to the play together and head towards the championship.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think they're a much better team with Jason Tatum than they are without. And they were a really good team without him. And he was able to work himself in, and I didn't think there was going to be any issue. I mean, he is a player that can create his own shot, but he also gets everyone involved. Same as Jaylen Brown does to a certain extent. Those two guys are your point guards, really. They're facilitating. Your point guard is Derek White, but he's not he is a facilitator, but not like these guys. And I think it's because they demand so much attention.
Right. You get the high school and the college game where the guard, drives everything. But Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, the driving forces of this team. Yeah, of course, Derek White, brings the ball off the court. But, Jaylen Brown has decided as the best two-way player in the game this year, legitimate MVP candidate. you happen to know? I'm sorry to put you on the spot. Did he, were his minutes down yesterday, Jaylen Brown's, or did he play a lot again?
He played 33.
Oh, all right. I think that's consistent with what he's been doing all year. So good.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see his minutes cut. I want Tatum. However they want to use him, that's fine. Get him back and just get him ready for the playoffs. If that means he's not playing back to back for now, that's fine. But just get him ready for the playoffs, because I do think they can make a run. They're playing defense.
Yeah.
They've committed to defense like NBA teams don't. So that's why I want Missoula as coach of the year with 20 games or 19 games to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see who else would get it. There's always a few guys that it's like, well, this guy, that guy, but just considering, what the Celtics underwent, and I watched a little bit of the post game, and they did ask Jason Tatum that, like, what were your thoughts? Obviously immediately after the injury, and then just knowing that team was going to be complete turnover, right? No one really knew what was going to happen, and then the fact that you removed 4 or 5 guys that were quality members of that team, and he was like, you have to put all your trust in the upper management, and they did a tremendous job of doing what they needed to do, but also making sure that we were still going to be competitive, and then you got to give all the credit in the world to the guys on the team, to the coaching staff, to make it happen, right? These guys really gelled and became a unit that have been able to work well and get the most out of each other.
Yeah, and I think Brad Stevens should be getting a little bit more credit too for the way he put the team together, especially with new owners that clearly wanted to cut the payroll when they came in to put the team together that they currently have playing together as a team, and then to what Missoula has done. I think both of them deserve just an absolute ton of credit. Obviously, the players play. But getting the players to buy into, we talked about Kim English earlier, who couldn't get the players to buy in. Joe Missoula completely got these players buying in.
Yeah, without a doubt. And like you said, Brad Stevens, I mean, I think basketball is the only sport that, like, the cap is really just bizarre. Like, it's so many layers and nuances to the NBA salary cap that it's so beyond my comprehension. Whereas, like, these other sports, like, it's pretty straightforward. Like, you can figure it out. It's pretty easy. But the second level and this, and, trade exemption, all that stuff.
Do you understand the apron talk? I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. So, but he was able to navigate it and really not lose any momentum. You think of the players that they got rid of.
Right. I was watching it play the other night.
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of things. I mean, you have to get lucky. You have to get players that you got or you drafted and have developed to really start to progress, which they have. I mean, Cueto I think he was waived, right? He was waived by the Golden State Warriors.
Correct.
And then we picked him up, and now he's a double-double guy. I mean, he had 16 points, 15 rebounds last night. I mean, the other night he had 20-something and, like, 17.
And that's the key. Like, you even mentioned, like one of the happiest stats, not just that Tatum was back, but you had mentioned he had 7 assists last night, which just tells me that he's buying in right away to, and not that I had any doubt on Tatum, but he's just buying into distributing the ball, getting the assist, going for the easier basket, and making sure that they're playing, how Missoula wants to play. So again, you bring up Cueto, they're playing a system that suits him, with some good ball distribution. Again, 7 assists, that's quite a bit for a top 5 player in the game known for his
and Jalen Brown had 7, Pritchard had 6, Chris.
Yeah.
You know, and they had
So that's
6 guys in
so
double figures.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a tremendous ball distribution, which makes it really difficult to defend. Yeah, they can focus in on Jalen Brown, and they can focus in on Tatum, and, as well as other teams should. But, you know, they'll pass it out, you know, to Pritchard or Derek White, and they'll hit their shots as well. And in theory, they may be left uncovered for even easier baskets on the floor. That's why I love the addition of Tatum, as long as they continue, and I hope they will, to distribute the ball and play unselfish ball. That's why I think they get a chance to make a run at the championship, because they'll get the other guys involved. That's what made, you know, Larry Bird so good. He got everybody else involved. That McHale was as good as he was, and Parrish was as good as he was, and all the other players, Bill Walton coming off the bench in '86, you know. So as long as Tatum and Brown continue to get the other guys involved, they're playing hard defense, they could be in line, not only just for the Eastern Conference Championship, but title number 19.
Yeah, it's not out of the question. That's for sure.
Right. I'm excited.
All right, so
I'm excited. But
let's shift gears. Let's go touch upon the Bruins. Trade deadline was yesterday. Not a lot happening for them. They made 2 moves, which were lower level players in my opinion. I gotta get that trades up. But they did make a trade with Vancouver.
What's that?
Go ahead. You were saying something, Kevin?
Oh, I was just saying, when you look at Don Sweeney come out, and he did say a couple days ago he did not envision himself being nearly as aggressive as he had been in years past. Last year he did the big, dump as they were sellers. A few years before that, they were big buyers, and I believe it was Bergeron's last year. Unfortunately, he lost in the first round of the playoffs. We spoke briefly last week. The only person I wanted moved, and it's only because of salary cap, and I'm just not a fan, was Corpusalo and the $3.4 million, because you had a much cheaper salary in DiPietro down in Providence that they could have brought up that I think could do what Corpusalo is doing. Other than that, I didn't know who else the Bruins could go get and what they could give up to get anybody, and I don't know what they have. Like, they're not going to get rid of Geeky. They're not going to get rid of their top scorers. They're not going to. So they had really no one to trade as well. That's why I was like, and it was only for salary cap. I don't like that the Bruins have $12 million devoted to the goaltending position right now. But it's possible they shopped them and they could get a suitor for him too. But we'll never know.
Right. Yeah, and it is that the goaltending thing is what it is, right? I think that was a mistake that they made 2 years ago when they made that initial move. But they're gonna have to eat that. Or the other problem is they had so many players that have no movement clauses, and Corpusalo has a 10-team no trade clause. So
I didn't
plays
know
into
that.
it too.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are the things you don't really think about, and then when you see it, you go, "Oh, yeah, that's right." So, I'm sure the 10 teams are teams that he wouldn't want to go to because they're not good.
Top of the list,
as opposed to like, we want to trade you to Colorado. Oh, yeah, I'll go there. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not one of the ones. Right?
Right, exactly.
So
I did see, and I'm drawing a blank on the name. Someone refused to trade to Buffalo.
Yeah, well, right. They traded for a young kid, Vancouver. I think they gave up a 6th-round pick for a 23-year-old kid, Lucas Reichel. He's played 19 games for Vancouver and Chicago this season. 2 goals, 3 assists, 6 feet, 170. He was drafted by Chicago in the first round of 2020, 17th overall. So, again, I think that's a move to go down to Providence. I can't imagine he's gonna be
Right.
there. And then they did make a trade.
Pat,
Yep.
I was going to say, Boston College hockey lost the other night to UMass Minutemen. What that could mean is one James Hagan could be on the Boston Bruins sooner rather than later if BC does not make any postseason tournament. With that loss, they're probably going to probably have to win Hockey East to make the tournament. James Hagan has 21 goals for BC this year. That might be a nice little addition that they're also counting on this year, which might have been a reason why they weren't that aggressive at the trade deadline. They also got this other guy, Letourneau, who's having a good year from BC as well. That might be a good punch that they add at the end of the year.
Yeah, so there's been some rumors that those are the two guys probably, if they did come, like I think Higgins is probably a done deal. Like he's going to come out. It just, why wouldn't you? And then about more and more I've been hearing Letourneau. They could bring Letourneau out too. He's a big kid. He's like 6'7". So yeah, we'll see how that all plays out. But they're both having tremendous years. I want to say the Bruins have like 6 players on BC that they've drafted.
I think it's 6. I also know they have a couple in North Dakota as well. Their names escape me right now. But North
Will
Dakota
Zellers
is having a decent year too.
Yeah, Will Zellers is on North Dakota. He's the one who lit it up in the U.S. The Junior World Championship.
In the juniors,
they got him from Colorado in the Charlie Coyle deal.
Yeah, last year. Yep.
Yeah, so be interesting to see what they do with him.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you mentioned, BC is kind of considered like the farm team of the Boston Bruins, kind of like a double-A or single-A team right now.
Right.
With all their prospects, I love it. I think it's great. You know, I guess the only thing to worry about is BC is struggling this year. They may not make the tournament. So with all these Bruins guys, I guess in theory you'd want to see them playing a little bit better to make the tournament and see if they can go on a run. But I'm excited about the Higgins trade. We got Pete from Douglas was all excited when they hired drafted Higgins. He watched him go play in a practice, and he said get him up to Boston now. And that was like 9 months ago. So I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I don't see him going back to BC. Just a matter if they want to burn that. You know, those guys that are coming out of college, they have to burn that first year. So instead of having control of them for 3 years under a rookie deal, you only get 2. So the same thing happened with McAvoy when he came out of BU. They signed him right away to the Bruins, and he had to burn that first year.
Yeah, they do that a lot in baseball too with the service time. I think if you think Higgins or anybody else can help you now out of college, you see it a lot of times. Teams eliminated, they join their NHL club, and they immediately help them in the playoffs. By all accounts, Higgins and again emerging Letourneau, if they can help the team, don't sit back on them just to save a year, because the Bruins, again, much like the Celtics, the Bruins are definitely overperforming as well. They're scoring more than they were projected to. Don Sweeney and Cam Neely don't get a lot of credit, and some of it rightfully so, especially on their drafts. But their trades have hit, and now it looks like some of their draft picks are going to hit as well if the projections are right. You got to give those guys credit. If they got a chance to make a run, and the Swayman can be a hot goaltender in the playoffs, they got a chance. Hockey, more so than basketball or the other sports, you'll see the upset, especially in the first round. And right now, the Bruins have a hold on the second wild card spot, and still a very closely contested race in the Eastern Conference. But the Bruins, you hear the players. What's the difference from last year to this year? And all the players are saying, "We're excited. We're going for the playoffs. We're going for it." If the players are buying in, and give credit to Marco Sturm for getting the players to buy in, these guys are going for it. And if they get a shot in the arm from someone like Hagan, personally, as a fan, I don't care about service time. I'll worry about that 3 years from now.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal in the NHL. Like baseball, I think their rookie deals are like 7 years, right? I mean, they have control of you for like 7 years. But
Yeah,
hockey it's 3.
Right.
So all right, why don't we take our last break, and then when we come back, we'll hit upon the World Baseball Classic.
Your certified Buick GMC dealer serving drivers throughout Woonsocket and the surrounding areas is Tasca Buick GMC. At Tasca, you'll find a solid selection of new Buick GMC models, as well as a carefully inspected lineup of pre-owned vehicles. They also have a well-connected finance center run by a qualified team of finance experts who can help you get the right loan or lease in a quick, easy, and transparent manner. Tasca Buick GMC, 55 Fortin Drive, Woonsocket. Visit TascaBuickGMC.com. Tasca Buick GMC. You will be satisfied.
Bringing over 3 decades of experience to every home improvement project, Moran Corporation, formerly A.J. Moran, combined traditional craftsmanship with modern techniques to deliver results that stand the test of time. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 to 5, Moran Corporation has seasoned firewood for just $165 for half a cord and $300 for a full cord of wood. And what better place to put that firewood than a new fireplace made out of veneer stone with granite mantles. Contact Jack Moran at 781-267-8920 for information about these fireplaces, firewood, and other home improvement ideas, or visit their new website at morancorporation.com. As always, Moran Corporation continues transforming your property with expert hardscaping.
If you're celebrating a major event, regardless of the reason, Michael's Meats of Cumberland can elevate your next meal from ordinary to extraordinary with meats so good your guests will ask you where you got them. Tell them Michael's Meats. Michael's Meats is in the Walgreens parking lot on Mendon Road in Cumberland, just north of the Ciabro Plaza. They're open Monday through Saturday at 9 a.m., making your next meal truly special. Here's this week's specials at Michael's Meats.
This week's specials: get your large base scallops for $7.99 a pound. Michael's also taking St. Patrick's Day center beef cut brisket orders. Call in now with your order. All right, welcome back to the Cheap Seats with Pat and Kevin. Kevin's favorite time of year, baseball season. We have the World Baseball Classic starting up last night. I don't think you saw any of the game. Did you?
Not much. I was able to tune in just a little bit. You had texted me about Manny's kid going yard, and I saw Roman Anthony
lead off. Yeah,
that was a leadoff
I think it was
home run?
Lucas. Yeah, it was leadoff home run in the bottom of the first.
Oh wow!
So fun to see that the Brazil team. No Major League Baseball players on it. So I guess that's the good part of this tournament, right? You get these teams that have Major League Baseball guys, USA, Japan, that all have great lineups, and then you have these teams like Great Britain, Brazil, Israel, that are all you might have one guy, or most of them have none. And I thought Brazil actually played fairly well.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some of the games I've seen, bits and pieces of, like you said, Pat, just started, and what you are seeing is guys like even Australia's got a team, and they got a kid on there. I think his last name's Kennesaw, something like that. He's like 19. He's supposed to be like the it guy. That's going to have a great major league career. But most of the team, they play in the Australian Baseball League. You got Korea versus Japan. They play in the Korean baseball organization, the Japanese league. So they're still professional ball players. And what's great is you see the fundamentals on display. You can hear the crowd, especially the games at the Tokyo Dome. You can hear the crowd into it, and then you get the best of the best. And it's just a great opportunity. Moose had mentioned it's a publicity stunt. I think it's beyond the publicity stunt, because you get these guys, that might be opening up some eyes of some major league scouts as well, that maybe that they haven't seen yet. And again, the 20 countries. I think there's only 3 or 4 countries that have a chance to win this thing. But it's great to see the other talent, and you're not seeing 34-2 games. You're seeing you maybe 10-4, 12-5, or whatever, but they're not blowouts. It's good baseball, and it's actually and for the players that are in Major League Baseball, they're seeing good pitching as well.
Yeah, Brazil had a 17-year-old kid on the mound, and he faced eight batters, and he got Aaron Judge out with the bases loaded. Imagine being 17, and you're on the mound with bases loaded, and you're facing Aaron.
Right, the best player in Major League Baseball. You're 17. Yeah, that that kid
had already hit a 2-run bomb in the first inning.
Right. So tell me how that kid just doesn't get better from there. I mean, he walks away with confidence. If he never pitches again, I got Aaron Judge out.
No, it's in his blood. I mean, he's the son of Jose Contreras, who won the World Series in 2005. But he's 17 and he's a high school pitcher from Brazil, and he's on the mound pitching against the best players in the world. And he faces probably the best player in the world, and he gets him out with the loaded.
Yep.
Like you can't take away his. I mean, you look at the box score, and his line is what it is. I mean, it's an inning and a third, right. 2 hits, a run, 1 earned run, 3 walks. But he can say, "I faced Aaron Judge."
Right.
So
it's a loaded lineup they got there too. You got Bobby Witt, you got Roman Anthony to keep an eye on as well. But it's a great lineup. I think it's great. Plus, I mean, I'm trying to find Fox last night to watch some of the USA game. I'm watching before I leave the room this morning. I'm watching Fox Sports 1. I'm not making a point of watching Giants Rockies preseason baseball. But if I know that Japan's playing at 5 o'clock or 5:30 in the morning, hey, I'm throwing it on, and it's March baseball. So right away, and I'm not the only one. I'm talking to some other people that are doing the same thing. So right away, the World Baseball Classic it's relevant, and I don't think it hurts either coming off the heels of the Olympics, especially seeing how USA did. Obviously in men and women's hockey, to just jump right into the World Baseball Classic with people still have kind of like Olympic fever, national fever, seeing countries face off against each other, leading into the World Cup. Even it's actually it's a great time of year actually right now as a sports fan.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And you know me, I'll watch anything. So I threw that game on for a little while. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched probably 3 or 4 innings. The pitching is the one that gets me. It's like these guys aren't going to pitch a ton of innings, so.
Right. It is the weird part of I don't know. I don't have a solution in baseball in general. Like people do talk about the Sox starting rotation being one of the best in all baseball, and my first instinct is, well, yeah, that's great, but they only pitch 5 innings. What are you going to do for the next 4 innings? Is Chapman going to do this? It's the same thing with the World Baseball Classic. But do you have 5 starting pitchers that you can roll out every single game for two innings at a time, or 1 1/3 inning at a time? I wish I had a better solution. You never saw Tom Brady on a pitch count, or any quarterback for that matter. It's only in baseball where your star players are on the mound and at best they're going to give you 60% of a game. And
right.
I don't have a solution for that. So, but I like the World Baseball.
Well, we don't have to solve all the problems.
No, not all.
All right. Well, we're up against it. Kevin, thanks for calling in. And next week you'll be off.
Pleasure.
I believe your brother Joe is going to be co-hosting with me, so we're looking forward to that. And as always, want to thank Dave Rigid for manning the controls today for us.
You may have to bring Joe along next week, Pat. I can make fun of him. It's my brother.
We'll be all right. All right. So
All right,
thanks
guys.
everyone for tuning in. Again, Pat and Kevin from the Cheap Seats. Appreciate everyone following us on WOON 1240 AM 99.5 FM Woonsocket Radio.